Hello everyone, welcome back to Fundraising 101. In the previous episodes, we discussed about valuation, what are the factors affecting valuation, and also about angel tax. In this episode, we are going to go a bit more deeper into the fundraising process and we are going to discuss about term sheet. So, a term sheet is a very critical document that outlines the blueprint of your future relationship with an investor. So, when I say term sheet is a critical document, it is a non-binding agreement, meaning that if you have a term sheet, that doesn't mean that you will have the funds coming into your company. So it's a non-binding agreement. Both the parties can terminate the agreement at any point of time based on the negotiations and other factors. So what all are the what all details would be mentioned in a term sheet would be kind of how much funds you are raising, what percentage of stake you are diluting, what instrument you are giving. Is it a CCPS or is it an equity? Is it a debenture? That sort of things. And what is the valuation of the company, and many other things would be coming in the term sheet. So having said this, like I told before, after the term sheet process, there are a lot of things going to happen. We'll be having a detailed due diligence by the investors and many other processes, and then only the fundraising would be coming into the act. So broadly speaking, there are two aspects which every investors look for in an investment, and these two aspects actually form the critical elements of a term sheet. So I'll tell you what those two aspects are. One is economics and the second one is control. So when I say economics, it actually means the return that an investor is going to get from the investment that he has made. It can either be through a sale, it can either be through an acquisition or through an IPO. And control means like what all control does the investor have in the company regarding the day-to-day operations, regarding some reserved matters. It can be related to a directorship or a voting right kind of thing. So adding to the economics and control clause, there will be a lot of other things which would be mentioned in a term sheet. For example, there will be liquidation preference. So that basically means how many returns the investor would be making at the time of the liquidation, like what preference the investor would be having over other shareholders and founders. Liquidation preference would be mentioned. Then conditions precedent and conditions subsequent. So condition precedent is something what have to be fulfilled before the fundraising deal, and conditions subsequent are the condition which should be fulfilled after the fundraising deal, and there will be a prescribed timeline. And then there comes the reserved matters which we told a while ago. So reserved matters are the matters in which the shareholders or the founders may need to take approval from the investors before performing such an activity. So and many other things can also be part of a term sheet. So having said this, it doesn't mean that these are the only things that would be coming in a term sheet. There can be other things coming in a term sheet, and there can be a term sheet without even these things also. So term sheet can be a 1-page document, can be a 3-page document, or maybe even a 10-page document. Everything depends upon the complexity of the transaction, the volume of the transaction, and many other factors involved. So like I told before, the term sheet activity cannot be treated as a kind of securing the fund or as the end of the fundraising activity. It should be treated as the starting of the actual fundraising activity. So we have discussed about term sheets, which is the actual beginning of the fundraising process. What next? Next comes due diligence or DD. We'll be discussing more about DD in the next episode. So thank you guys. See you in the next episode.